So, coming from Engadget, Meta reportedly dips its pathetic toes into the prediction market space. A new app could compete with Polymarket and Kalshi. So, the thing that I really like right now with what I'm doing with YouTube is every day I come here and I publish at least 4 videos a day to talk about the current topics going on in the technology world. And the great thing about doing so many stories about the technology world is that we start to get a historical context of the idiocy going on. So one of the problems that I run into, especially when I'm talking with young people or people that don't really understand the tech world, is I will make these bombastic claims, right? About Mark Zuckerberg going through a midlife crisis and he has no good gosh darn idea what the hell he wants his corporation to do. And the issue is if I'm just sitting here talking about it, I'll give like an example or two, like humanoid robots. Seriously, why is Meta getting into humanoid robots? Who the hell knows? But they're getting into humanoid robots. Or I'll be talking about the disaster of their whole AI, whatever they're doing with their AI. And the funny part is, right, I make these really bombastic statements, but the issue is actually providing evidence for those statements can be a little bit difficult because we're also having a conversation. I don't necessarily want to sit here for an hour every time I do a video about Meta, basically, going through every single idiotic thing that they're doing. And so what it seems like, especially in a clickbait world, is, oh, Eli is being melodramatic. He's taking 1 or 2 little incidents, blowing them way out of proportion, and then claiming that Mark Zuckerberg is having a midlife crisis. It is sad. It is sad to see an old not boomer go down the route like that, basically having to make stuff up. And I sit there going, no, there's so many examples. I just don't have the time to go over all of those examples. That's the great thing about doing these types of videos. It's just day after day after day. We can do yet another video of Mark Zuckerberg not knowing what the hell he wants to do with his life. And this is the perfect example. This should be coming from The Onion. It is so 2026, right? You have Meta. Meta is a communication company. It is an advertising company. There's a lot of different things you could throw out there again in the modern world, trying to say what kind of company it is. But as I've said before, where does being a front runner in the AI space, where is that synergistic to anything that they're doing, right? And this is the perfect example of the insane road they're going down. Like, what does competing with Kalshi have to do with Meta? What is going on here? I swear to God, I swear this is the problem with this generation of CEOs in the tech industry is they need to go on to new projects. They had their run, right? They built an amazing company. They ran it for a while. They now need to go do something else and leave it in the hands of a CEO who actually wants to run the company that they in fact have. The problem is when you have somebody like Mark Zuckerberg or with Elon Musk or with some of these other founders, right? They have supermajority voting rights in the company. Basically, nobody can outvote them, right? You could own $50 billion in equity in Meta, and he can still ignore you. He can still fucking ignore. That is the degree we are at this point in time. And so the problem that you get into is when you have a technology company shackled to the psychological neuroses of the founding CEO, you're gonna get a tech company with the psychological neuroses of the founding CEO. And there's not going to be anything to do about it. Hey, you know how Meta and Asheville are similar? It's because we have all of these meth heads out there, And the problem is, in our liberal society, you're not actually allowed to lock people into mental health programs, right? We used to have an asylum program. So the idea, you're like, oh my golly, that person is homeless. They're literally fuck out of their minds. We're going to put them into a program to try to get them stable again, right? But we don't have that. We don't have that anymore. So now we just have, like, it's not even just meth heads or meth heads. Hey, whatever, you're addicted to drugs. That's not really, my worry. But no, we have psychologically unstable human beings running the funk around, and there's nothing that we can do about it in our current system. Basically, in this metaphor, Mark Zuckerberg is a psychologically unstable meth head running around Meta, and in their system, there's nothing they can do about it. And this is a problem, and I really want you to be thinking about this as we move forward. This is going to become a larger and larger problem. Meta, I think they're like 1.5 trillion. They're a $1 trillion company at this point in time. Think about this. They are a $1 trillion publicly traded company, and they apparently have no way to rip the CEO out of his position if he loses his damn mind. Right? We got that with SpaceX. SpaceX, it was 1.7 trillion, then it was 3 trillion, now it's like 2 trillion. Anyway, SpaceX, apparently, supposedly a very valuable company. Elon Musk loses mind. Think about this for a second. SpaceX controls something like 80 to 90% of all space launch capacity for the United States. Has 10 million people in their ISP under Starlink and is doing all of this other stuff. And it is controlled by a CEO that literally cannot be removed. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be larger barriers to entry to remove founders, right? Maybe there is an argument there, right? A CEO that takes over the position, maybe their tenure should be more fragile than a founding CEO. Like there's some arguments to secure the founder's position a little bit better than a normal CEO. But we're in a situation. These kids can lose their minds. They can drive their companies directly into the ground, and we have no system to do a damn thing about it. Anyways, it's called foreshadowing, my friends. It's called foreshadowing. No, I am not from the future. I just know how to do 2 + 2. We have seen. Well, I'm not sure we've seen this before. Actually, as I say that, I'm not sure we've seen this before, but I think we can extrapolate. Anyways, so we take a look at this disaster unfolding. Mark Zuckerberg has directed Meta to create a prediction markets app, according to a report by the New York Times. The experimental app reportedly goes by the name Arena and could eventually compete with platforms like Polymarket and Kalshi. Where trends go, Meta follows, because this boy has no new. You talk about tech founders that have no new ideas, that's the poster boy for that. Company insiders have stated that this is a top priority for Zuckerberg and Meta. And that's the other thing with all this is very weird. Don't get me wrong, they are a large company. They have tens of thousands of employees. Look, if they want to put some resources on essentially moonshot projects or experiments, that makes sense. Take few $10 million, take $20 million, see if you can make this thing work. Right? That's the culture that's supposed to be with Silicon Valley and tech startups and all that kind of stuff. The issue that you get to with Mark Zuckerberg is everything's a top priority. AI is a top priority. Humanoid robots, this. Like, do you notice it seems like everything in the world other than their actual business is a top priority? When was the last time you were reading the news feed and you saw something come out about Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp and you're like, wow, that's amazing? I haven't used Facebook in like 10 years at least. But that is gonna get me excited for Facebook again. Right? No, it's just all this. Hey, look, they're doing humanoid robots. Why are they doing humanoid robots? I don't know why they're doing humanoid robots. Gives me something to talk about, though. It's like, these same insiders say that Meta plans to grow the app by leveraging its gigantic user base on platforms like Facebook and Instagram. Both Polymarket and Kalshi are over 5 years old, with a near complete dominance of the industry, so Meta would have a lot of catching up to do. This is the other weird thing with Meta, right? They're going into the AI space. The AI space is saturated at this point in time. I literally have a buddy of mine, he exited an AI play, right? Literally, he started doing this AI company many years ago, grew it, acquisition, exited, apparently did very well with AI. And so I was sitting there, I was talking with him, I was like, wow, so you exited an AI play. So what's your next AI play? And he said, oh, there's not going to be another AI play. And I said, why? And he said, because the entire thing is too damn saturated now. He was talking about, right, the mid teens or whatever else. Basically, he could put something onto LinkedIn, he could put some advertisement out there, whatever. The people that were actually interested in AI would click, and it was a great way to get traction. He says, you talk about AI nowadays, like everybody is talking about AI, right? Literally all the oxygen is taken out of the room as far as AI is concerned. So he's off to other things. Again, I'm just telling you about real people who exit companies and what they're actually doing. But anyways, you do you, right? And so that's one of the weird things. Like with Meta though, right? AI is an insanely saturated space, and they want to become a front runner in that field. Why? Right? We talk about this with humanoid robots. Like everybody's all excited about humanoid robots. But again, the problem is everybody's excited about humanoid robots. Think about this. The Chinese government is cracking down on humanoid robot companies. Even the Chinese government who built ghost cities, entire cities that could house hundreds of thousands of people that are completely and utterly empty, and they did it in order to build GDP and all that kind of stuff. Even the Chinese government is like, hey, let's calm down on humanoid robots. And yet that's what Mark Zuckerberg is investing into, because, again, 2026. And that's where we look like with the prediction markets thing, right? Polymarket or Kalshi. And you look, it's, where is the gap in this space? Where is the massive entry point that you can get into and then just pull back outsized returns? Legit, I just simply don't see it. And yet this is a high priority. The New York Times has also reported that Arena app will likely rely on a video game like point system instead of money, which is weird. Meta has experimented with its own version of prediction markets in the past. There was the prediction market app Forecast, which opened up shop in 2020 and shuttered in 2022. This let people make guesses about world events and did use a point system instead of real money. It very much never caught on. Yeah. So anyway, This is what happens when people used to think you were a visionary, and then you found out maybe not so much. You know what's really hilarious? You see that face? I remember the days, and this is real for the kids out there. This is how stupid the world it really is. So Facebook IPO'd, and there was literally a call for Mark Zuckerberg to become president of the United States. Look at this young guy who's a visionary of technology, who's been able to create this amazing company. That's the type of guy we want as president of the United States. That was in the news cycle way too long. And now, yeah, he's just he went from being a sad, lost little boy with a crap ton of money to being a sad, middle-aged man, a lost middle-aged man with a crap ton of money. So we will see where Facebook goes. I do think we're going to start to see more and more of this fundamental problem, though, of the Peter Pan syndrome for startup founders, where the companies have no functional way to get rid of them. right? They liked being considered visionaries. They liked being considered boy geniuses. They liked people looking up to them or whatever else. That has fallen by the wayside. I cannot imagine who looks up to Mark Zuckerberg in 2026. And so they're on that journey to find that rush again, and they don't care how much shareholder value they destroy on their path to try to find relevance again. So yeah, that's where we're at. So what do you think about this? What do you think about Meta competing with Kalshi? Oh lordy. Are these the days you watch one of my videos and go, oh yeah, it's still 2026. Eli, I woke up this morning and I wasn't quite sure what year it was. And then I watched one of your videos and went, oh yeah, no, this sounds like 2026. Anyways, I don't know. Put your thoughts down in the comment section, I guess. If you are a Meta employee, I understand you have NDAs. Don't explain it all to me. Don't explain it all to me. I am just making the simple request of, do you know what the plan? Have you seen the plan? Are you like Eli? I can't explain the plan to you, but I swear, I've seen it and it makes sense. Can a single solitary Meta employee actually make that statement honestly? That is my real question. Anyways, if you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. Also, if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.